Mick Mulvaney admitted to a quid pro quo yesterday at a press conference. They apparently, it's Halloween, so I don't know if they got rid of the cobwebs in the press room, but it had been a while since anyone had spoken to the press there. Mick Mulvaney did, and pretty much immediately wished he didn't after he said this.
Did he also mention to me in the past the corruption related to the DNC server? Absolutely, no question about that. But that's it, and that's why we held up the money. Now, there was a report.
So the demand for an investigation into the Democrats was part of the reason that he ordered to withhold funding to Ukraine.
The look back to what happened in 2016 certainly was part of the thing that he was worried about in corruption with that nation. And that is absolutely appropriate.
Withholding the funding.
Yeah.
To be clear, what you just described is a quid pro quo. It is funding will not flow unless the investigation into the Democratic server happened as well.
We do that all the time with foreign policy.
We do that all the time with foreign policy. I mean, he definitely admitted to a quid pro quo in that, yes?
Yes, even after it was pointed out that that's what it appears like he's admitting to. What's fascinating about that little clip is that immediately after he says the first piece, everyone in the room except him changes. And over, he's not realizing what all the reporters are realizing. The reporters are like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, today, yeah, it's normal, everything's normal, what?
So there's, with the Trump White House, there's always like an attempt. They say something they think is clever,
yeah,
and then everyone goes, what? And you can either give them the benefit of the doubt that there's a deeper meaning there, or just take them at their word that they've said something utterly incriminating.
That's it.
And we should do that. Like, this is step 3 along the lines, and I always want to remind people that Trump already admitted to a crime.
Right.
Doing what he did by releasing the transcript and saying that he had a phone call where he asked the president of the Ukraine to look into his political opponent at all, bringing up the Bidens at all. That breaks campaign finance law, and you're not allowed to request a thing of value. Now, the thing that the White House had been holding on to for so long was there was no quid pro quo. And like, the benefit of the doubt that you could give to Mick Mulvaney in this situation is that he's trying to say that there's a larger national interest involved in weeding out corruption.
Right.
But he is directly referencing that moment after Trump said, I want you to do a favor though. That is not necessarily the Bidens, but that's looking into like this weird ass conspiracy theory that has been debunked, saying that it was actually Ukraine and not Russia who tried to do things with like a server and Democratic server in the election. In the wake of all this, Eric Swalwell, of all people, who used to be running for president, said this: we have a confession.
Thanks, bud.
And that's what it seemed like. Mulvaney, however, stepped in and equivocated, saying, once again, the media has decided to misconstrue my comments to advance a biased and political witch hunt against President Trump. Let me be clear, there was absolutely no quid pro quo between the Ukrainian military aid and any investigation in the 2016 election. The president never told me to withhold any money until the Ukrainians did anything related to the server. But we go back to, did he also mention to me in passing the corruption related to the DNC server? Absolutely. No question about that. That's why we held up the money. That is the quid pro quo stuff.
And it's just so frustrating because they get to just constantly use these like trigger words for Trump supporters. Right. The media is twisting my words. That is not what happened. You said something that clearly you should not have said. Then you were asked to clarify that. And they used the phrase quid pro quo and said, hey, what you just said matches that. You get that, right? And he said, yes, we do it all the time. There's no twisting of words there.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is the people in Trump world, the competent ones who at least had experience, whether it was corrupt or not, they have all since retired. All that's left are bubbleized yes men who at this point had to finally go out in front of, like, outside the bubble and did talk. And Mulvaney thinks he's awesome because now he's the acting chief of staff.
Right, he's like floated his way up to the top. And even some of the bumblers are quitting. Rick Perry was like, you know, it is too hot in here.
I know. October 7th, he said, I'm not this month, not today, not next month. And literally, whatever, like 10 days later, he's like, it's getting hot in here. But it's very frustrating. I do want to go to the final. The final video that we have here from Geraldo stepping in. So you know it's bad when even Geraldo thinks you're being stupid. Take a look.
Like Sean Spicer on the size of the inauguration crowd, Nick Mulvaney yesterday saying that politics influences foreign aid. Yes, of course it does, but why in the world do you rub that? It's like salt in the wounds.
There's that.
He's trying so hard to stay on the team, and it's hard.
I just want to say, back to the point of all of the people who are remaining in the Trump White House. This is the final graphic. I just want to compare.
Okay.
Mick Mulvaney.
Oh, Brett.
I'm just saying, I've done this for a long time.
You love
on
this,
various shows, but does he or does he not look exactly like the bad guy from Raiders of the Lost Ark? He looks exactly like him. And then the previous graphic to that, even Sean Hannity has made fun of this ridiculous, I would like to say, display. What is Mulvaney even talking about? Sean Hannity said on his show. I just think he's dumb. I really do. I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. That's my take on it. Sean Hannity's response to the White House chief of staff going out in front of everybody and bungling this and admitting to the one thing that they were holding on to as not the case is, my official defense is he was dumb.
He's dumb.
Thank you for watching this clip from the Damage Report. For more content from the show and access to TYT Network members-only exclusives, go to tyt.com/Brooke. Wait, no, it's tyt.com/John. Go to tyt.com/John to sign up.